Hi everyone, this is Jerry Enchantress, and this is your Astro Tarot 2023 reading for Pisces, or anyone who is attracted to that Pastel Journey Tarot. I'm one that's very attracted to this. You can choose this deck for your Sun, Moon, or Rising, or any other placement, or if you want the Pastel Journey Tarot, or if you like the number 12. And I'm going to accompany the Rumi Oracle with it, plus Romantic Fairy. So let's see what we get for Pisces. I love this deck. So pretty. And it's like rainbow edged. So pretty. And it's got sparkles on this side too. Alright, so I'm going to try for a 3-card reading, and funny enough, I do 3-card daily dust readings for daily messages, but this is going to be for the whole year, and that can work too. You'd be surprised at how much information it gets downloaded. Oh, I need a little break after this. Go get some lunch and a lemonade. Alright, so let's see. One more shuffle and then this time I'm gonna do it. Let the cards fly. Because if more than 3 cards come out, that's okay too. Well, I'm trying not to do clumps though. Okay, unless Spirit really wants me to have that clump of cards. Okay, we have the Ace of Swords. Nice start. Truth, honesty, new beginnings. I feel like this feels virtuous somehow. I like that in the background you can see like constellations. Oh my gosh. Well, a bunch of clumpy cards came out. Okay, so we're just going to keep going. Who knew Pisces would be so complicated? Alright, I'm taking these two. These kind of laid down for me. What do we have? Oh, the 3 of Wands. Okay. And the 10 of Wands. We have a lot of roses coming out in a bunch of these piles. Everyone's starting from where we had a little hint of roses in Scorpio, I think. Then Sagittarius had the Rose Oracle. Then Aquarius had the final Rose Tarot and some more rose information. And now we have roses coming out again. So this is the year of the roses. Alright, so Ace of Swords is this kind of, it could feel like an epiphany, an aha moment, an enlightenment coming through. It's also about possible some news coming, exciting news coming in, you know. I think it's important to shut off the TV and let the news that comes in be natural. Something from a person, a phone call, something that is truth, that's not filtered through opinion or bias, you know, of some sort. A lot of things that we hear on the news is filtered through that. Some of it is I hear catastrophizing things, and yes, catastrophes happen, but some things are augmented, you know. The word is, I finally thought of it. Sensationalize. I was thinking exaggerate, intensify, sensationalize. So to play upon your senses, okay. But it's important to not let not follow things that are sensationalized and necessarily affect you unduly, because there's a reason why certain news is presented in that way, because it's trying to get your attention. Sometimes that kind of happens in your dream too, like when you have night terrors or a nightmare or something scary in your dream. It's like really, amplifying of some fear or something that needs to be altered in your waking life. Okay, so back to the Ace of Swords. Ace of Swords is a significant breakthrough coming your way. It's coming from mental expansion that brings clarity and spiritual growth to you. So it's about a new beginning or a birth of an idea that could change your life. And it could be because of something that you've done, or with the help of spirit, because spirit is here to guide you. So the Three of Wands is like looking into the future. It's like having a little bit of psychic abilities, a little bit of intuition, clairvoyance. And we had a little bit of that with Aquarius. Now, Aquarius is just plain future person, but Pisces definitely has the clairs, has a natural talent for having heightened intuition at the very least, plus empathy and empaths here, but also having clairvoyance, clairaudience, claircognizance, or clairsentience, any of those, or all of them. And so when that happens, sometimes you project into the future and you see things and they haven't happened yet, and you don't need to do that. You need to attract what you want. So it's kind of it's a mix. You know how self-fulfilled prophecy and actualizing things and all of those things kind of are entwined. A lot of times you'll see something coming to you from the future that doesn't necessarily have to be the way you see it. The best way to see it is actually the way you want to see it, and that attract that instead. Sometimes I feel like Pisces can sometimes, because they're so open-minded, they see all aspects, the negative and the positive, but as humans, we naturally default on the negative, and so the negative worst case scenario often pops up before the best case scenario, or the best case scenario is often pushed off as unrealistic, which is not fair. Like we're as much allowed to have the best case scenario as the worst case scenario. Why is that not allowed? So it's important to visualize that. But the thing is, this year is going to be really good for like having these insights, these epiphanies, putting your thoughts into actions and manifesting things that you want in your life. You've accomplished many things that you should be proud of, and you're going to accomplish more of these things. There's hard work is the Three of Wands, determination, creation. Sometimes you can get stuck in a certain, feel good energy and not move forward to the next thing, like keep going with it, or focus on a new dream or a new chapter. But this is all about just focusing on future plans and events. You might want to make lists or a bucket list. If you don't have a bucket list, then make a bucket list. If you do have a bucket list, then choose something from your bucket list and then put some energy behind it, financially, spiritually, or whatever, like do things. Like, say one of the things on your bucket list is to travel to Paris, okay? So one of the first things you'll have to do is get a passport if you don't have it. So practical things towards your goals, right? If you have that, then maybe it would be helpful to speak a little French if you don't know how to speak French. If you do, then that's great. Or if you have a friend, maybe talk to your friend and see if they would be willing to be a partner with you to go to Paris, Or I do one of those like little classes to teach some basic phrases and things like that, or get a dictionary or some kind of app that will help you, things like that. So there's all these like little steps that you can take that make spirit realize, that you're serious about this goal, and that you're putting your best foot forward, and then have, set intentions. You could even do a vision board or something like that of what your particular goal is. You know what, it's interesting because I have a vision board that's very general, and it displays all areas of my life, like love life, health, a little bit of finance, but mostly like environment and wealth around me, as far as creature comforts and that kind of thing. So it's a very like a fluid kind of energy in my. But sometimes you can take that very generalized image of what you want your life to look like, and then pinpoint one area, like let's say love life, and then just do a love life kind of board, a vision board. So you can show more specifics. What does your guy look like or girl look like? Where would you go? Like people, if you want the high class, wine and dine, images of that, or if you want more natural, hiking and holding hands, or more of that, whatever, fantastical playing role play games, whatever you wish. That's a great way of visualizing that. You could draw it out if you're an artistic, or you could cut it out with magazines, or you can find images online and paste them together in a collage, whatever. But you can even have a vision board that's on your phone, where you can see it more often, or you can make like a fun like TikTok video where it flashes a lot of images, and that represents what you want to see in this year or something like that. So a lot of creative ways to attract that through your visions, through your clairvoyance mixed with your manifestation abilities. Then you got the 10 of Wands, which is, Three of Wands moving to the 10 of Wands seems like you're getting closer to your goals, and 10 is always a good number. In this case, though, 10 can represent a little bit of being overwhelmed, and maybe too many people depending on you and relying on you, or maybe you've given yourself too much work to do or too many things to think about. So I think that goes back with this vision board. If you have a vision board that talks about too many things, then it's hard to focus on one particular area that you want to do the most. That's why, like, if you have a bucket list and you choose one thing, and then you put effort into that one thing has a higher chance of succeeding than if you did little drips on all the things on your bucket list, which you can also do. You can approach it anyway, but don't let yourself get overwhelmed, and don't let yourself look at it as like too big of a picture that you can't do anything that you want to do, right? Then that doesn't work at all. Then you've defeated the purpose, right? So take on the smaller bites, right? One step in front of the other, and take things in small doses and pieces. I feel like that Pisces in general need to be sure to not project so much into the future, not to see the future as this big mountain that to undertake, but just look at the very next step and listen to your intuition for that next step, and then the next step, and the next step, and then pretty soon your steps are adding up and you're getting somewhere. And as you're going, you're visualizing every step being a positive outcome and leading you in the right direction, and therefore you won't have those obstacles that get in your way, that mess with you, especially with your mind. Your intuitive mind is so active and so big and so playful and so strong that sometimes there could be it can get muddied, and a lot of stuff goes on in there to block your focus a little bit. So it's about rearranging and tapping with a little bit of your opposite energy, like the Virgo energy, and being a little more practical and putting things in the categories in order of importance, and prioritizing and putting effort into specific things and not the big picture things. So but you could be like, this could be a year where there is some big responsibilities that you have, you know. It could be lots of changes in your life, and good changes, but even with the good things, come responsibilities, and come, uh, you know, having to figure out how to get to from point A to point B, you know, how to do all these different things that you have goals for. Just like at the end of the year, you know, at the end of the year, but it was kind of at the end of the year. I was listening again to my $3 million meditation video, and I was like, you know, $3 million, that's great, and I like that right now, and that would be wonderful, and I have it, I feel it, it's wonderful. But at the same time, like, $3 million is meant for, you know, buying a house, renovating a house, or buying a car, doing, you know, the different things that you use the money for. You don't just say, well, I have the money and now bam, I've got the thing, right? You have to actually make effort to spend that money, or invest the money, or share the money. You have to figure out how to bridge that gap, you know, to use those finances to get those things that you need or want. So that's where this 10 of Wands comes in. Sometimes it's just, maybe you just bite off more than you can chew. That's, I don't know, I hear that in my head. But yeah, it's like, instead of the big bites, take the little bites and chew really well before you swallow, and don't choke. Yeah, because if you think, I mean, my dad was like that. I'm like, what? Why are you like rushing to get to the end of that sandwich? You know, it's like some kind of goal, like to be finished with it. But isn't the point of the sandwich is enjoying how it tastes, and that it's filling you up and it's giving you nutrition? So enjoy every single bite, right? All right, so this also could be a year where you have to put a little more attention on your health, and don't overwork yourself. If you've got a lot of goals, that's great, but be practical, be reasonable with yourself. Make sure that you balance everything in a way that you can consume it, that it's not too much. Here we go with the eating thing again. But make sure that, like, if you're going to work, if you're going to school, if you're got extracurricular things like exercise, gym, and things like that, you got to figure out how to balance all these things without wearing yourself out, or without any one area lacking. Another thing also is, if you are in school, here's something from Spirit. If you're in school and you have a big workload, a caseload. I'm hearing caseload, so there could be like also like attorneys out there and other people that deal with caseloads. But if you have a big schedule, a big workload, let's say credits, you decided, I'm going to do a big credits, a large amount of credits this semester or whatever, and it just overwhelms you. And because it's just so much, there's certain classes are you not making as good as grades, and the final outcome is to have a good GPA. And you can't, if you're taking on so many classes where some of them are, your performance is hindered because of just feeling so overwhelmed. So in that case, if you're the kind of person that can take on a lot, that's great. But if you find yourself like failing or not doing so well, and maybe even C's, or D's, maybe you're the type of person that makes A's in anything that you put your mind to. But if you have too many things going on at the same time, something turns into a C, and you don't want that for your GPA. You want to show that you are an ace person. So that could be a true thing, an actual thing, literally or metaphorically too, like any area of your life. So that's something to think about. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's see what Rumi has to say. Rumi, this is kind of romantic, but I think it can represent lots of areas of your life. Let's see. I think though this is the year for increased mental activity for sure, and sometimes and spiritual activity, and knowing how to balance the two. Like, don't get into your ego too much and allow spirit to guide you a little bit more. Okay. We got these 3. Oh, these 4. All right. All right, so we have she offers sacred wine, so drink. Pour that precious wine over the frozen cries of skeptics until their words become warm and their nays become yays. Ooh, so you're convincing people. You're being offered a gift that is beyond your current understanding. Trust in what will happen. Trust that you will be cared for. Interesting. So there's something that you haven't, that's coming through in 23 that you're not quite sure what it is. It's kind of forcing or asking you to not overanalyze it and not worry about it too much. You'll understand it when it happens, okay? So that's why future projecting sometimes is not such a good thing, because some things that we can see in the future, we're like, we can't understand it, we don't make sense of it. Sometimes dreams are that way. We're like, what? And then it comes true in real life and you're like, oh, okay, stars above, you know? So it's something like that. So don't try to force something to make sense to you until it's ready to. This is I surge on the uprising wave of love. Surge! My son's name is Sergio and he's a Pisces, so I'm thinking of him a lot in this reading. I was raw, I was cooked, I was burned. You're going through a cycle moved by forces stronger than your will. This is a karmic period with grander cycles affecting smaller ones. The smaller ones are not less important, but they do have to bow to the power of the great. Surrender to oneness with the magnificent unfolding divinity that is life itself. That's really interesting. I don't remember reading this one before, but this is talking about that big picture, little picture. You know, there is a big picture, but the little steps along the way to get to it. At the same time, don't see the big picture before, or as this inconquerable mountain, before you take some little steps, because the little steps make you realize, oh, I can get there, you know. But when you don't take the little steps and you just see the big mountain, then you think, oh no, it's impossible. Then enter the garden of delights. What remains buried in the soil will always endeavor to reach out. To tussle with the parts of us that would deny aliveness is risky, with such potential for heartache. Yet, what could be more heart-wrenching than the slow death of a precious human soul, suffocated by fear and inertia? So Rumi is your midwife. He's standing at the threshold with you now. Will you say a deep yes to your life? So it's like moving forward and like truly living and not just going through motions, you know, really knowing what you're doing, why you're here, why you make the decisions you make, and who you're with and why you're with those people, and what do they stand for, and what do they truly believe, and all of that, you know. This is Merciful Mother Jamal. Today you arrive with laughter to break open the jail. Here now, receive this solace, comfort, and mercy, for not all success must be hard won. The compassion of the all-merciful shall soften the hard edges of your life and your being and bring you to the grace that is deserved. This makes me think of someone that it seems like the lessons they learn always are the hard lessons. It's like having to do it the hard way to learn, but that doesn't have to be that way, you know. And I feel like some people attract the hard lessons. If you see a hard lesson come up upon you, you can ask, say, God, I have, or whatever spirit energy or universe or angels, you know, I think I've met my karma and I think I'm good and I don't need to learn this hard lesson, you know. I can pass through this, move through this, and still level up without having to be hurt. And you know, a lot of things happen for us so we can learn and level up from it. But not every lesson has to be a hard lesson, you know? And you don't have to think of it that way either. You don't have to ask for it or even subconsciously attract it, because I think a lot of people do. So ask the Mother of Mercy to bless any matter into divinely inspired resolution. Know that your prayers are powerful. Nice. All right, so let's get a little romantic fairy for your love life. I feel like this year is mostly about passion and spirit, and the strong energy you put behind things, manifesting with your mind. There's no specific message about work and money and the mundane. It doesn't seem like, if you want to know more about your mundane life, then I would suggest maybe doing, checking into the charm reading that's coming up. But I feel like overall what's going to be more important to you in 23 is your spiritual approach to your life is going to bring abundance in every area of your life. Let's see now what's coming up. Yeah, okay, Spirit's saying, check out the signs and the clues. The universe is talking to you. Okay. Let's see what else. Okay. All right. Wow. You've got the twin. Oh, wait, you got 3. You've got the twin flame union. You're the only ones that got this. Heart, body, mind, and soul. That's coming through. This is an unexpected connection, that you are opposite of this person and you are attracted. There is a strong physical love language here. A tender touch means so much. So for a lot of you out there, this person may first attract you because they're so different from you. Secondly, they may attract you because there's a passion, there's a fire energy behind them. But thirdly, there feels like a connection with your heart, the body, and the mind, and the soul, like all of it. So if you're feeling that, then you know you found the one. Even if it's now, twin flames can sometimes be a hard lesson. And maybe this is the year that your twin flame journey turns into not such a hard lesson anymore, that it eases up on you and gives you a little break for a change, unless of course you're in a happy place with a significant other, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. But if you are seeking, or if you feel that person out there, then they are out there, and they complete you and complement you, because they're like your opposite. They're the yin to your yang, and you will be magnetized to them so strongly that initially the physical touch will be the best way to express this energy, but it is a heart, body, mind, and soul energy. So I hope you like that. Thumbs up if you like that. Feel free to hit that little thumb down there. That's where you will get this little confetti party going on, a little 4th of July, New Year's Eve fireworks display down there. Feel free to subscribe if you're new, and thank you for coming by. But if you're a return subscriber, so much appreciate you for all your support all year long. This has been a really great year of growth, expansion, new things. I just feel really excited about next year and working on more decks, and my tarot, finishing my Lenormand deck and working on a tarot deck using my new tools. I feel like the magician because I have 2 new tools to use, and there's all kinds of power behind that, the tools of your craft here too. But the biggest and most important thing is your connection with spirit and co-creating. You can do anything if you co-create with the universe, with spirit, with your higher energy, with higher self, however you want to see it, with God. Yeah, so thank you guys so much for being here, and go ahead and check out any of the other readings and any yeah, whether it's your sun, is your rising sign or your moon sign or other astrological placements, or you just happen to like other decks, make it a nice big fun reading for you. If you feel like this one didn't have too much about the career, there could be another one that attracts you, that will, you know, address your career a little bit more. So yeah, a mix of things out there for you. And Daily Dust is coming up, and some charm readings are coming up, and tonight I'm going live and doing a few readings, and then we're going to go outside and look at fireworks. So I'll see you then. Faith, Trust, and Pixie Dust.